We shall now have the opportunity for silent prayers and meditation. Thank you. You may be seated. Morning, honorable members. There are motions without notice. Honorable Velile Cyril Jack.
Oh, thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I've decided to withdraw that motion, Honorable Speaker.
Oh, thank you very much, Honorable Velile. We shall now call upon Honorable Mahulo Abraham. Who's that? Okay. Looks like people are not. Okay, thank you very much. Notices of motions. There is none. Yes. We shall now go to statements by members. I shall now call upon Honorable Sipuru Makhabu Chemp.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the African National Congress in this August House to raise a concern about the more than 20 initiates who have been admitted to hospital in the Mogalakwena local municipality. This happens while we have just received in this House reports that the 2025 initiate program was well underway in this province. Honorable Speaker, we are aware that the preservation of initiate schools as a secret and customary right involves a lot of secrecy. However, we are adamant that government must intervene to spare the innocent lives of initiates where there are signs of danger. It is therefore incumbent that both the Departments of Health and Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs should make concerted efforts to intervene in these operations and save lives. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. Just remember all the time after you have spoken to switch off your mic. Thank you very much. I shall now call upon Honorable Mulapo. I see he's not in the house. I shall now call upon Honorable Melidwaba Mapula.
Ke kopela le nkgalleng batho bashem. Nkgalleng batho. Ke motion without a notice.
I can member statement.
Okay.
Member.
Thank you, madam. Motion without notice. Time here. Oh, Social Development 2025 APP. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, hulukile. Tla tšwela pele. I rise on behalf of the EFF to move without notice that the House notes.
Mapula, you are on the member statement, not on a motion without notice. Hello, Rayona statement, I want to Honorable Litwaba, Rekano Fetela Pili, it's not a problem. We are now going to call upon Honorable Wilson.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. 15 municipalities in Limpopo now have unfunded budgets and are technically bankrupt. Exacerbating the situation of these severely cash-strapped municipalities, the entire province is on the brink of a technical recession due to abysmal economic performances for the last 2 quarters. The Minister of Finance, Enoch Godongwana, has now withheld the equitable share and grant payments from the Envy District Municipality, Sekekuni District Municipality, and Letaba Municipality for not paying Lepele Water, leaving them with no money to deliver services or infrastructure. They face imminent bankruptcy, and media reports this weekend indicate that Letaba Municipality's funds have dried up, putting employees' salaries at risk. The MEC of Costa is constitutionally obligated to intervene when it becomes clear that municipalities are unable to fill their mandates. And it is clear they cannot. Limpopo is in a crisis. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wilson. I think now member statements are all done. We shall now go to the executive member statement. I shall call upon the Honorable MEC Pakana Ernest Rachweni.
Wa o nyaka ke bolela ke le kua monna ke apere thai botse so. Honorable Speaker and Honorable Deputy Speaker, I rise in this August House to commend the Honorable Premier, Dr. Popi Ramathuba, for living up to her words and commitments of ensuring that all incomplete infrastructure projects are unlocked. It was in this August House where the Honorable Premier expressed concerns about incomplete projects. Just last week, Wednesday, we witnessed the Honorable Premier's visit to the Greater Letaba municipality on a fact-finding mission. To us, this was just not a fact-finding mission, but an effort to bring a solution to our people in that particular locality. Stalled and white elephant infrastructure projects are causing serious inconvenience to residents and impeding local economic activities. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the presence of the deployees of the ANC of the 7th administration on the ground is a direct response to community concerns raised about prolonged delays, poor contractor performance, and a lack of communication around service delivery timelines. It is unacceptable that vital access roads in and around Moribeng, critical for connecting people to schools, clinics, and markets, remain incomplete, while communities continue to suffer the consequences. I must also indicate that the visit coincides well with Mandela Month, which marks the birthday month of our first democratically elected president, Nelson Mandela. This stalwart and many others fought for the liberation of all South Africans, particularly that are from underserviced areas. Government is not doing these communities any favors by rendering basic services, but it is their democratic rights to get such basic services as enriched in our Constitution. It is my strong conviction that service recovery is the commitment to bounce back when things go wrong, learn lessons, improve, and strive to serve again. Saving others is rarely assured of total success. Life evolves, needs change, expectations rise, and from time to time, we fail. This is in the nature of service and in nature of life. Don't stop, don't give up, keep on learning and keep on serving. The former statements that Nelson Mandela once said, and I quote, "It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is a danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership," close quotes. As the Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure, we will make sure that we put a special radar on our entity RAL to see to it that the completion of D15, D3150 and D3232 is fully implemented. Part of my oversight role is also to ensure that infrastructure projects are finished on time and within allocated budget. We will indeed ensure that there is consequence management method against officials that might be found to be on the wrong, because any public cent spent must be accounted for. Roads infrastructure is not a luxury, it is a basic enabler of dignity, access, and development. Our communities deserve better, and our Honorable Premier did not mince her words in imploring us to ensure that we unlock all stalled projects in Morive. Ke a leboga, thank you.
Okay. The MEC forgot. Thank you very much, MEC Makarekere Rachweni. We shall now call upon the response from the executive. I see the leader of government business is ready, Honorable Makamu.
Thanks very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to the Speaker, Dr. Makoma, our Honorable Premier, Executive Council members, and the House at large. I'm here to respond to two member statements, Honorable Speaker. The first one, it's a member statement by Honorable Wilson, which I think it confuses issues. The fact that the Minister of Finance said to have withheld certain equitable shares to certain municipalities. In the member statement, the honorable member is referring to Wembe District Municipality. And I think that is total lie. And I think the honorable member, her being elected to this house, in future she should be able to get fined. She has got all the rights to get the facts rights from the department when she wants to make a member statement. Wembe District Municipality did not suffer any withholding of any funds. This intervention is not even on the basis of unfunded budgets. It's about Water Service Authority, which had debts with the Lepelle Northern Water Board. We have already started to intervene long before, in October last year, not this year. And we have already had payment arrangements. And I see you howling. And next time I allowed you to speak. What we did with Wembe, the payment arrangement was signed, and the letter which was said to be to the minister, we were able to do that. There is no single cent in Wembe which was withheld. These are the facts we are giving you. We have already done what you said, that is our constitutional responsibility to intervene. We have already intervened, not this year, last year. The challenges which are there, we are dealing with them. It's in Skukune and Litaba. We have resolved it even under the leadership of our Premier. We were able to resolve that issue. So I take this as grandstanding in the chamber where there is no challenge and people want to create these challenges. The issue of unfunded budget has nothing to do with the withholding of funds. The second member statement is coming from Honorable Chairperson of the portfolio, Honorable Spuru, about the two initiation schools in the Waterberg district, the Rasodi and Ratlakane initiation schools. This is as a result of our routine checks, which we're doing as the department, and found just a mere 2 initiates who seemed not to be progressing very well. It is the collaboration between the MEC for Coxstar and the MEC for Health that we dispatched a team from the nurses, go to the mountain to do the proper verification. And out of that, we found about 21 initiates which were not progressing well. I was asking to the Honorable Premier, who is a medical doctor by profession, what do you call a situation where a patient come to the hospital, treated and go back? Is that called admission? And then she corrected me that that is not an admission. It's called outpatient treatment. So that is what exactly happened. All the 21, none of the initiates slept in the hospital. The 5 came on the first day, they were treated and went back to the mountain. The remaining 16 were also treated and went back to the initiation schools. But we should acknowledge and accept the guidance from the Honorable Chair that we should be able to make sure that our surgeons are people who are experienced, because some of this work was mainly because of the quality of the work done. And that, we take it, Honorable Chair, we are going to make sure that as we proceed, because the numbers 21 are not necessary numbers, it's life of people, and we can't underestimate working with that. That is what we can be able to confirm. But also say the collaboration between the health department and Coxstar is yielding results because we're able on our own internal arrangement dealt with the matters. So we will be able to improve on that. And I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC Makamu. Do I have any member of executive wanting to answer? There's nothing. Premier, do you want to answer anything? You are fine. Thank you very much. He has answered everything. Thank you very much.
Speaker,
Honorable Dr. Selane, is that an order?
Honorable Speaker, I rise here as Dr. Chair Selane, not only as a doctor, but as a person who's well experienced in terms of culture, who has went to initiation school in 1994. And then I want to inform you that what Honorable MEC was presenting is in the right track. He shows that he's well experienced also. Thank you.
Thank you for that information, Honorable Dr. Selane, about the leader of government business. Thank you very much, honorable members. Let's, without waste of time, we are now going to, there is no any tabling of committee. Oh, we are going to the orders of the day. We're now going to second reading debate, approval of budget votes and schedule of the Limpopo Appropriation Bill 2025, B04-2025. I shall now call upon the chairperson of the Committee for Public Administration to come and do the consideration and adoption of the following report of the Portfolio Committee. Honorable Pokwana Johannes. Did I miss something? Pokan. Oh, Speaker.
Chair, I suggest that because there was a member statement by the MEC of Public Works, if political parties will have an opportunity to comment on it, let's give them an opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Parties. let's start with the MK party. Honorable Velile.
Oh, thanks, Honorable Deputy Speaker. We have no comment.
Thank you. Let's go to UAT.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. From the UAT, we've got no comment. Thank you.
Let's go to GA.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. At this moment,
Thank you very much. EFF.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, no comment. Thank you.
Okay. Chief Whip. Okay.
No, thanks very much, Honorable Speaker. As the ENC, we have a comment. We welcome these developments, Honorable Speaker. These are quite commendable. And we really welcome the Honorable Premier's concrete interventions in trying to unlock all the blockages towards the infrastructure investment. We also think that this matter will be speedily resolved so that our people around Sekgose, Semorebe, Ngaraphahle, Lagapoko, and many others can have access for the rideable roads. We are also in agreement with the view that road infrastructure as an economic enabler will draw our people closer to economic opportunities and will reduce the travel time between these communities. We'll be watching closely as the WIPARI and as the African National Congress that the department will do justice to this community as it has done to countless others throughout the province. But also we make a right that the Honorable MEC must also tighten the contract management department to ensure that all the unscrupulous service providers are held accountable and they are not given work in future because they are failing our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chief Whip. We shall now go back to the orders of the day. Let's now go and for the consider and adoption of the following of the report for Portfolio Committee on Public Admin, Honorable Pokani Johannes, Chairperson of the committee.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker, who happens to be the chair of the session, for affording me this opportunity. Greetings to yourself, Deputy Speaker, our Honorable Speaker, Dr. Makoma Makurupeja, our Premier, Dr. Popira Matuba, the members of the Executive Council, the WIPAR is led by the Deputy Chief Whip, the Chair of Chairs, as well as the Deputy Chair of Chair, the Chairpersons of Portfolio Committees, leaders of the opposition parties present here, our honorable members of this legislature and our guests. On behalf of the Portfolio Committee of Public Administration, I present the 2025-2026 Annual Performance Plan and Budget of the Office of the Premier for consideration and adoption by the House. So I move accordingly. Thanks, Deputy Speaker.
My apologies. Thank you very much. I think I've pressed your mic. Thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm now calling for a seconder. WIPARI. Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I, Bongani Nkonyane, Abednego, then to second the adoption is moved by the Honorable the Chair of the Portfolio Committee. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nkonyana. We shall now call upon Honorable Nempumburunin Tembereni Colbert. Bongwana zwa wrong, so anga sikuvona. My apologies, Bon Tembereni Colbert Nempumburun.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Memo Mrovela Tebo Poshia, Dr. Honorable Speaker, Mema Koma Makumpeche, Honorable Premier, Me Dr. Popira Matuba, the Chief Whip of the Legislature and the Deputy Chief Whip, the Chair of Chairs and the Deputy Chair of Chairs, the Whipari, the oppositions, honorable members, receive revolutionary greetings from the Portfolio Committee on Public Administration. The presentation of the 2025-2026 Annual Performance Plan signals the transition from the 6th to the 7th term of administration. The APP is therefore tailored as an honest and transparent directive solely based on the aims and objectives of the 7th administration into the future. The Limpopo Legislature is constitutionally mandated to play oversight over the executive as per Section 1142 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. In the APP, Office of the Premier indicated that the office embarked on a strategic review exercise for the 7th administration. The focus in the 2026-2030 after the strategic planning cycle are the following. Priority 1, inclusive growth and job creation. Priority 2, reduce poverty and tackle the high cost of living. Priority 3, a capable, ethical, and developmental state. The Auditor General of South Africa performs certain audit procedures on the performance information to provide reasonable assurance in the form of an audit conclusion in the province and municipalities. The audit conclusion on the performance against predetermined objectives has been included. Office of the Premier plays an important role and responsibility in the provincial administration through consultation, oversight, intervention to the departments and entities. There have been 4 clean audits, which was on the Office of the Premier, Provincial Treasury, Limpopo Legislature, and Sports, Arts and Culture. We want also to congratulate the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture in attaining its clean audit opinion for the first time after it has received unqualified audit opinion for the past 5 audit years. However, we have also noted an improvement on the Department of Health from a qualified audit opinion which get allocated much of the budget of the province, which was an improvement from unqualified audit opinion to clean audit. We call upon other departments to follow suit. The committee engaged extensively with the Office of the Premier on several operational and governance matters. Noteworthy among these are the challenges in public entities, high municipal vacancy rates, unfunded municipal budgets, infrastructure backlogs, the status of the Rivoni Special School Project, clean audit performance improvement initiatives, water licensing constraints, land audit skills development strategies, illegal migration's impact on the job opportunities, industrialization initiatives, and infrastructure plans, such as a high-speed train between Limpopo and Gauteng. As you know, that the premiers of these provinces have already met. The committee further noted Limpopo's demographic trends, which revealed a population increase of 6.57 million people as per census 2022, with a youthful demographic profile requiring urgent investment in education, employment opportunities, and service delivery infrastructure. The provincial economy remains heavily dependent on mining, agriculture, and tourism, while finance and manufacturing sectors displayed employment growth. Agriculture and mining, which are the province's economic pillars, experienced declines over the past 5 years. Economic growth projection for 2025 remained moderate at 1.5% to 1.6%, still below 2% target set in the Limpopo Development Plan. The agricultural sector in particular suffered a significant 30.5% decline due to the adverse drought conditions. The 2025-2030 strategic plan and the 2025-26 APP articulate clearly defined targets and outcomes aimed at improving governance, professionalizing the public sector, enhancing service delivery capacity. Each program specifies annual targets, quarterly performance milestones, and indicators consistent with provincial national development objectives. The program on administration has been entrusted with the responsibility of providing administrative support to the Premier, Executive Council, and the Director General in fulfilling their legislative oversight function and in promoting good corporate governance in the province, from the departments to the municipalities. For the year-end review, Program Director, Office of the Premier has enlisted 13 output indicators that are going to be performed differently, with some being performed at certain quarters and some annually. Some of the targets are measured in percentages, while some are measured in numeric. On institutional development support, this program has been established to ensure that the provincial administration has the capacity to deliver on its mandate in supporting the departments. It ensures that policies, processes, systems that enable the provincial administration to deliver services are in place. The key responsibility of the Office of the Premier is to coordinate to ensure that provincial resources in terms of human capital, minerals, food, security, supply, and supportive systems are integrated with the ideology of constant economic growth, health, welfare of the people of Limpopo. It is through this program that the Office of the Premier should, amongst others, monitor and evaluate the departments on their performances with regard to their audit outcomes, the vacancy rates of the departments, the implementation of corporate governance, of the information communication and technology policy framework, the number of departments on resolving labor relations cases within prescribed time frames. It is also important that the Portfolio Committee on Administration provides oversight on this responsibility and hold the executive to account for this financial year under review, Office of the Premier has 14 output indicators for the purpose of enhancing the capacity of the provincial administration as part of building a capable, developmental and ethical state. The provincial administration has the responsibility of ensuring that the province has appropriate structures staffed with right personnel who are effective in carrying out their responsibilities and are ethical to do what is right in line with the regulations of the public service. There are some of the output indicators that are going to be measured quarterly and annually, such as the departments that will be monitored on the implementation of service delivery plan, number of targets, stakeholder groups engaged in
As you conclude,
information
Honorable Member, Honorable Nempumbulunu.
For this financial year under review, the Office of the Premier has 9 output indicators which are varied to the quotas which is meant to contribute towards improving the socio-economic landscape of the Limpopo province. The Portfolio Committee on Administration recommends the following: that the Office of the Premier prioritize the management of departmental vacancy rates across the provincial government and urgently reduces its own internal vacancy rate to improve service delivery efficiency. The detailed and comprehensive action plans be developed and monitored to address internal control deficiencies affecting financial management, performance reporting, and legal compliance, with implementation progress reported quarterly to the committee. That the completion of stalled infrastructure projects such as Riboni Special School be vigorously monitored to ensure the delivery within the stipulated times and budgets. That the Office of the Premier ensure improved coordination of the Limpopo Development Plan 2025-2020 with clear reporting mechanisms to track development impact and the socio-economic progress. Honorable Speaker, having considered the 2025-26 annual performance plan and budget of the Office of the Premier, the Portfolio Committee on Public Administration recommends that the House approves the APP and budget as presented. The committee further submits this detailed report for adoption by the House. I therefore move that this report be adopted as a report of this House. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nempumbuluni. Honorable members, you must watch your time on the screen. It's very important. I have my time. You wasted your time by doing the whole greetings of every vote. I have got my time here. I've given you an extra 1 minute, 30 seconds. And that is true. So I'm just saying, all the members that are coming to debate, please watch your screen so that we work together. Honorable Wilson Evelyn.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Attending the Public Administration Portfolio Committee meetings is always enlightening. While we may not always agree on policy or strategy, it is refreshing to engage a department and a premier who provide facts plainly, without politicking or concealment, unlike what we see in some other portfolios. We commend you and your team, Premier. That said, Speaker, the Premier remains the final accounting officer for Limpopo Province. As head of the executive, she carries the ultimate responsibility for good governance, performance, and delivery. The Premier has made bold commitments in her SOPA addresses. Had those been realized, Limpopo would be in a far better position today. But those promises depend on sound management and clear priorities across departments, municipalities, and MECs. And this is precisely where Limpopo is failing, not due to the Premier or this department, but because of systematic breakdowns in critical institutions. We currently have 15 municipalities with unfunded budgets. Who is expected to fund infrastructure maintenance and service deliveries in these municipalities? Are their Section 71 reports accurate? Have their budgets even been passed? Recently, the Minister of Finance did withhold equitable share and grant allocations for Vembe, Sekekuni, and Letaba due to non-payment to Lepeli Water, which is what I said in my member statement. And I have got a copy of the letter from Minister of Finance to Minister of Costa. But this raises serious questions. Why did it take national intervention? What was Costa doing? Were there no corrective actions taken earlier? Why are these things taking a year? MEC Makomu said they started fixing it a year ago already. We call for the urgent access to all Section 71 reports. If they are found to be misleading, accountability must follow. We pray that the Premier is now taking charge of this crisis, engaging municipalities and holding strategic meetings with the MEC for Treasury. The media reports that the Letaba municipality is effectively bankrupt and may not be able to pay salaries. If this is true, the consequences will be severe. Meanwhile, Limpopo is sliding into a technical recession, following 2 consecutive quarters of economic contraction. This will erode hope, investment, and public confidence, while deepening poverty and unemployment. And it is the people of this province, already living without basic services, who will bear the costs. Yet we see municipal speakers holding planning sessions at luxury resorts outside their jurisdictions with full accommodation, catering, and transport costs, while the municipalities face fiscal collapse. This is indefensible. Service delivery must take priority over luxury gatherings. Skills audits must be enforced across all municipalities. Jobs for Friends has hollowed out our capacity, and many people in leadership positions simply do not have the competence or qualifications to do the work required. Our water and sanitation systems are dysfunctional and failing. Despite reporting these matters time and time again, they do not seem to be improving. Mokop Reservoir is just one example, still empty as I speak 1 year later. Ledette is in a crisis, and Leader is once again being bailed out, just like G&T. Despite their mandate to drive growth, they deliver little and cost us heavily. We must ask, what are these inflated salaries buying us? In health, the situation is equally concerning. Oversight visits by the Portfolio Committee continue to expose more problems than progress. The gap between policy and performance is growing. Speaker, I could go on department by department, but the core message is clear. Limpopo is in a crisis. We do trust you, Premier, and we trust that you will act decisively. The issues are real, the impact severe, and the time for action is now. We are in your hands as a province, Premier. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wilson. I should now call upon Honorable Mapolo Lawrence is not here. Honorable Mapula Letwaba, okay, that's fine. I shall now call upon the chairperson of the committee, Honorable Pokani Maudu Joannis.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, greetings to you as the chair of this session, the Honorable Premier, the Honorable Speaker, all protocol observed. I am trying to save my time here. Madam Speaker, the Office of the Premier derives its mandate primarily from the Constitution, the Public Service Act of 1994 and its regulations, the Public Finance Management Act of 1999 and its regulation, as well as national and provincial policy directives and the overall mandate of government. The most important provisions are as follows, Honorable Deputy Speaker. The Premier has executive, policy, legislative, intergovernmental, and ceremonial functions and responsibilities as defined in Chapter 6 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The Premier, as the political head of the provincial government, is responsible for the implementation of Chapter 3 of the Constitution. Section 41, subsection 1, defines the relationships and principles underlying cooperation between the various spheres of government. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we report that the Office of the Premier has been able to ensure that they review the Limpopo Development Plan. And as they crafted the APPs, cognizance was taken on the fact that, or the issues raised in the Limpopo Development Plan, as well as the National Development Plan. Honorable Speaker, the Office of the Premier has been allocated 554 million for the 2025-2026 financial year. Considering the programs that office has, the budget allocation is equal to what is in the departmental plan. The scope of the operation of the Office of the Premier is divided into 3 programs, which are administration, institutional development support, and planning, coordination, monitoring, and evaluation. The overall aim of the department is to ensure that all departments are empowered and to deliver compelling and impactful services to the people out there. As an overall overseer of other departments in the province, the Office of the Premier does not work and exist in isolation, but it has the responsibility to serve as the nexus of leadership, coordination, motivation, and support to other provincial departments. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the programs, as I alluded to above, are as follows. Administration program, which has received an allocation of 163 million, which will enable the office to perform and fulfill its legislative oversight function. The office made a commitment last year when tabling its 2024-2025 budget that in their journey to modernize the provision for public services, they will extend the running of the electronic recruitment system, which will be launched in all departments. We are also pleased that the Premier's office is going to have the following measures starting from this financial year 2025-26. Monitoring the implementation of the pillars of the national framework towards the professionalization of the public sector, which demonstrates the seriousness of the office in its endeavor of building a capable, ethical, and professional state. The Office of the Premier has also introduced a target and is going to monitor the issue of women equity at senior management level, as well as employment equity for people living with disabilities. We really applaud these endeavors as captured in the APPs. Working hand in hand with the aligned goals and objectives of the 7th administration, the office reaffirms its commitment towards its core business. That is a coordinated government agenda. On this program, Honorable Deputy Speaker, it's the program of governance and policy. This program has received an allocation of 121 million, which has been set aside for the 2025-26 financial year to support the execution of its functions. The program enables the Premier's office to implement its mandate of planning as well as monitoring and evaluation. The Office of the Premier is expected to craft a strategy and policy to achieve an integrated approach towards sustainable growth and development. We appreciate that the Premier's office has introduced integrated planning, monitoring, and evaluation framework action plan as a target that is going to be measured from this financial year. Honorable Speaker, the other program of institutional development is the base and cornerstone of government support. Hence, it has been allocated an amount of 270 million. Amongst its departments, it is headed by qualified and capable heads of department. Though this has not been an easy task with the Department of Health, Education, Agriculture, and Rural Development and Social Development, the Premier's office wants to give assurance to this House that the process will be finalized very soon, since adverts have been closed. The position of the head of department for Public Works, Roads, and Infrastructure has since been filled. The Office of the Premier has finalized and is going to monitor the implementation consequence management framework from this financial year 2025-2026. This also is the indication of the seriousness with which the Office of the Premier takes guidance from the Portfolio Committee on Public Administration. In pursuit of agile governance, the office has allocated significant resources to the information and communication technology initiatives. This year alone, the office will invest over 80 million in critical areas such as email security, digital signatures, electronic content management, and disaster recovery. These investments are essential as we prepare our government for the fourth industrial revolution, ensuring readiness for a rapidly evolving digital landscape. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, we are thrilled as the Portfolio Committee to mention to this House that the Premier's office has been able to achieve a clean audit in the 2024-2025 financial year. And in the last quarter of that year, it has been able to spend its budget with no issues, as they were in the previous financial year. The Portfolio Committee met and engaged the Office of Premier on the 2025-26 APP and budget. Allow me, on behalf of the committee, to request the House to consider and adopt the APP and budget for the 2025-26 financial year. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pokani, the chairperson. Let me now call upon the Honorable Dr. Popira Matuba for response, the Premier. All the MECs today, I'm giving you at least 4 minutes for responding.
Yes, because
Premier, yeah.
5.
No, she's talking from there. I'm the presiding officer. You're having 4 minutes, they're
Honorable-
having 3 minutes.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chief Whip, Deputy Chief Whip, Chair of Chairs, Honorable members of Executive Council, Honorable leaders of the opposition parties, and fellow honorable members.
My apologies, Premier. The chief whip is raising his hand. Maybe he wants to do some intervention on your minutes. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. We have got rules in this House, and if we are to change the rules, they must be suspended and they must be moved and be seconded. The 3 minutes rule is a rule of this House, and other executives have presented, you are giving them 3 minutes to respond. Therefore, the 3 minutes must prevail in the circumstances. Thank you very much.
Chief Whip, can you, okay. I wanted to say, at least can you second that 4 minutes that I'm moving on?
We can't do that, Deputy Speaker. There is no motion for that. Allow the Premier to respond in 3 minutes, please, and let's continue the program.
Premier, I tried. So you will have to answer within 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the chairperson of our Portfolio Committee, Honorable Choris Pokani, and all members of the Portfolio Committee for the constructive recommendations and the discussions as we navigate the complexity of governance amidst a challenging socio-economic landscape. The commitment to accountability and service provision underscored in this report serves as a guiding light for our administration. Honorable Speaker, we recognize the challenges that are highlighted in terms in the committee response, specifically looking at the municipalities. And I must indicate, as MEC Makamu earlier on has tried to clarify, local government is everybody's business, and the office of the premier has prioritized. Therefore, municipality challenges are not new to us, we know them. Let me just give some few explanation as to what is currently happening. We know that Treasury, they've got monthly meetings through Section 71 reports. And also all those unfunded budgets, we have a mandatory financial recovery plans that have been approved by both our two departments. We also have from a Premier's office, a PIGF, which meets quarterly. We also have got the Munimec convened by both MEC. When it comes to the current two, the three municipalities that Honorable Winston has been raising, let me indicate and emphasize what MEC Makamu has indicated. As early as last year, we received a letter from the Minister of Water and Sanitation and also the Minister of Electricity, worried about the debts. We convened a team led by the two MEC to continuously support this municipality. That is why now you are only talking about these three municipalities, which equally it's not true. Vembe District Municipality has developed their plan on the repayment plan for the debt, and it was approved and by Lepelle Water, and Vembe has no cent that has been withdrawn. Greater Letaba, I must indicate to you, they are not a water authority municipality, and it was wrong for Lepelle to bill Letaba. While when Mopani District Municipality was saying, we are the ones who are the water authority, give us that bill, we'll pay. But Lepelle was keep on saying, until we had to intervene. We had a meeting with them last week on Friday, and we gave them instruction as Lepelle. We even requested the intervention of the Minister of Water. And as we speak, Treasury has written a letter, by the way, because they were wrong to withhold. That was financial sanction for Greater Letaba Municipality. It was wrong, and we must indicate that. The letter has been written. We must forward it from Treasury, National Treasury. MEC MY, you should forward it to Honorable Winston so that she can see after our intervention. There is no money that is going to be taken away from Greater Letaba. Skukune, the Minister of Finance Minister Godongwan, has confirmed that they've received the report and the commitment from Skukune, how they are going to be paying. So Limpopo will not be having that crisis. What is important is that we must continue to help our municipalities so that they can pay their debts, because it's important for them to pay the debts. But equally, our departments must also pay the municipalities. Equally, our state-owned entities must pay our municipalities. Equally, honorable members who are sitting here must also pay their own dues to the municipalities, so that municipalities must not be struggling. Lastly, on the issue of Riboni, I need to indicate that Riboni Special School, it's one of the priorities that the backlog infrastructure, the Premier has taken responsibility working with the MEC. We had challenges because IDT is an implementing agent, and IDT has not been, the contractor had their own financial challenges, needed business rescue. In summary, currently the contractor is on site. They have promised me that by the end of third quarter, it will be finalized, but knowing me and the MEC, we don't take their story. We will be monitoring. After monitoring, we will then be able to commit to this house. When is that school going to be completed? Otherwise, I want to appreciate, I have a lot to respond, but just to indicate to honorable members in the committee, thank you very much. The leadership of our chairperson, it's appreciated, because through him, he's able to guide us. If you look at the HODs, by the end of this week, HODs would have been appointed as we have made that commitment. HODs will become, in terms of the skills audit that you are asking, our HODs are qualified. That's why I'm proud to stand here and say one of our HOD, Dr. Ratumbu, Honorable Chair of Chairs, he's now Dr. Ratumbu. He has passed his PhD with Wits University within the Faculty of Commerce. And go and read his study, much more relevant, looking at the challenges of African trade, why we are not able to win when it comes to that. You can go and read Ha Kopisa Uno Ipasa from Wits, Honorable Chiselan.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier. We shall now go to 7.1.2. We shall now call upon Honorable Simon Mate for consideration and adoption of the following report of the Portfolio Committee on Social Development, the chairperson of the committee.
Do you accept that I speak from here? Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. The Premier, Speaker, members of Executive Council present here, Chair of Chairs, Deputy Chair of Chairs, Chief Whip, Deputy Chief Whip, and all of you, honorable members. Deputy Speaker, I'm not going to be devastating, but I'm going to be straight to the point. And I'm going to be jumping. I'm going to jump other things. I table the 2025-2026 APP and budget for the Department of Social Development in Limpopo for consideration and adoption. And I hope in that process I did not jump anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Simon Mate, the chairperson. I shall now call upon the seconder, please. Honorable Bella Kupa Mavuza.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I rise to second Honorable Mate, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mavuza. Let me call upon the Honorable, the Deputy Chief Whip, Honorable Munama Ganyani Rogers.
No, thanks very much, Honorable Madam Speaker, Dr. Makoma Makrupeche, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Tebogo Mamrobela, who is presiding the session today, Honorable Premier, Dr. Popiramapo Ramatuba, Honorable members of the Executive Council, Honorable Chair of Chairs, Honorable Thabo Ntrumukone, Petantic, and Deputy Chair of Chairs, Honorable Hassan Nkobeni, Honorable Chairpersons of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable members of this caucus House, the Chief Whip, Honorable Manoko Mukhonyana, and Honorable members of the Whipari, the Secretary and other staff members and accounting officers and other invited guests. Madam Speaker, President Reginald Oliver Tambo, the former longest-serving president of the Glorious Movement, the African National Congress, once said, "We did not tear ourselves apart because of lack of progress at times, We were always ready to accept our mistakes and correct them. Even in bleak moments, we were never in doubt that the people's cause shall triumph, close quotes. Indeed, as the disciplined members of the African National Congress, we are people with indomitable spirit. We are the children of great warrior men and women who have never retreated. We are unconquerable and we will emerge victorious in the battle of pushing back the frontiers of poverty and underdevelopment. Cognizance should be noted that the Portfolio Committee on Social Development met with the department on the 1st of July 2025 for briefing on the APP and budget for the planned deliverables and resource allocation. They further briefed us on the fourth quarter for 2024 and 25, which explicitly articulated the achievement challenges in attaining the objective and targets as outlined in the approved APPs. We are very emphatic that the APP are not just expression of the desired deliverables by contracting documents with the respective portfolio committee. Hence, we are going to be more robust in ensuring that we move from expression to practical actions, which will be impactable, deliverable to the livelihood of our people. The ANC resolve of good governance is mandatory, and these APPs must find expression on how we translate the funded plans into practical actions, transforming the socio-economic landscape of our province. Madam Speaker, the social development as mandated focuses mainly on key sector priorities like transform development, social welfare, gender-based violence, drugs and substance abuse, social protection of children, and comprehensive social security for older and people with disability. The department provides bulk of its services in partnership with NPOs and community stakeholders. The department remains central and critically important to social cohesion and stability in society. The most vulnerable members of the society, the poor, the abandoned children, victims of gender-based violence, victims of substance abuse, and many more looked up at the department for care and support. Madam Speaker, the Portfolio Committee applauded the judicious stewardship of our MEC, Honorable Ratzelan, in bringing concrete measures of rolling back the quagmire of triple challenges, that's your poverty, unemployment, and inequality, and ensuring that she dealt with systematic deficiencies to suffocate any condition that may give rise for accountability failures and malfeasance. It is in that context that we make the impassionate plea, Honorable MEC, that we prioritize the following pertinent issues: the inability of the department to absorb all the graduates who completed their studies through departmental bursary, filling of funded posts, including senior management. The department has been operating without head of the department since April 2023, which I think the Honorable Premier will ensure that is being filled. Implementing all the forensic investigation reports on the NPOs which are hell-bound in siphoning the public resources through unscrupulous means. Intervention at Waterberg District governance lapses and ineptitude in their failure to assist our downtrodden communities. Provisions of tools of training for social workers so that they don't have an excuse why they can't service our people. What also we are saying is that the department has regressed from unqualified to qualified audit opinion, and wanted to put a rider, Honorable Premier, that the department has been qualified on the basis of the responsibility which is not theirs. And that's the outcry that is coming, because the implementing agency, which is the Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure, is the one which is implementing those projects. But when it comes to consequence management and qualification, it goes to the department because they are the ones who are given there. This is the matter that has to be relooked, Honorable Mahwai. Because how can I be held accountable, whereas the person who is doing all these things is not held accountable, and is no way, if he said to be the accounting officer of public works and the CFO, let it be. That is the observation of the portfolio committee. Honorable Speaker, after very meticulous consideration of the 2025-2026 financial year APP and budget for the Department of Social Development, the Portfolio Committee accept the reports. The Portfolio Committee therefore duly recommend to this August House for consideration and adoption of the 2025-2026 financial year APP and budget. I move accordingly. The challenges that these departments have, they are formidable, but they are not insurmountable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip. I shall now call upon Honorable Marx.
Honorable Speaker, I rise today concerned by the contents of the 2025-26 Annual Performance Plan of the Department of Social Development. The documents before us paint a troubling picture, one not of progress, but of a persistent dysfunctioning, poor planning, and hollow promises. Despite the carefully crafted language of these reports, we must not be misled. What we are dealing with is not a planning problem, it's rather a problem of implementation, accountability, and leadership. The department has previously withdrawn its 2023-24 annual report, citing dissatisfaction with the audit outcomes. Let us not sugarcoat this. It's a regression from an unqualified audit opinion to a qualified audit opinion. This is not merely a technicality, it's a damning indictment of financial management. And yet, the very same department now asks us to approve a budget and an APP that remains in all material aspects unchanged. No revised strategy, no new approach, just copy and paste and hope for the best. The challenges raised are not new. They're not even recent. Year after year, we are told about vacant senior posts, NPOs collapsing, increasing food security in Limpopo, now affecting thousands of households, to name only a few. How can a department claim to empower the vulnerable when it cannot even manage to register NPOs timeously or ensure basic tools of trade like computers and vehicles? We as members of the legislature also do our oversight, and we are being approached by vulnerable residents who are desperately looking for support by the department. However, when these lists of vulnerable persons are furnished to the MEC, we do not get any feedback as to how they were assisted, if they were assisted at all. This does not only reflect negatively on the MEC and the department, but puts all of us, as members of this legislature, in a bad light as if we do not care. The department claims that funding to NPOs is based on capacities and services rendered. However, I ask, what real support is given to help build that capacity? Where are the standard operating procedures? Where are the fair timelines? We have seen our vulnerable residents were treated at the Vitari Old Age and Disability Center. The center has recently been exposed to the horrid conditions that older persons and people living with disabilities were subjected to. During our oversight, MEC Rajilani emphasized the government's responsibility to rescue people who are put under deplorable conditions and to protect their human rights. However, in her answer to the written questions posed by the Democratic Alliance to her, it's evident that MEC failed to protect these vulnerable residents and admitted that no criminal charges were instituted against those accused of abusing our vulnerable residents. In fact, the MEC merely raises her shoulders and says, sorry, criminal charges could not be lodged as we as the department did not know of the existence of the center. Is that really an excuse not to open criminal charges against those responsible? It therefore means, as far as the MEC is concerned, that no accountability will take place, and those accused of abusing our vulnerable residents will get away without being held accountable. Honourable Speaker, I respectfully submit that where vulnerable people are abused or mistreated, or where they cannot protect themselves, there's an ethical duty on the MEC for Social Development to stand up for them. The time for excuses has passed. The people of Limpopo deserve better. The Democratic Alliance is committed to protecting those vulnerable members of our society and will continue to monitor the implementation of this annual performance plan. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Marx. I shall now call upon Honorable Maholo. Oh, you are coming in, Honorable Job. Okay, yes. Thank you. You are recognized.
Ke a leboga, Deputy Speaker. Social Development 2025/6 APP. Honorable Speaker, it is disappointing that this department regressed from unqualified audit opinion to qualified audit opinion. The laziness and lack of political will to improve the audit outcomes is glaring, and they are therefore everyone to see. Furthermore, the EFF is also concerned about the inability of this department to absorb all graduates who completed their studies starting from 2013 academic year due to budgetary constraints. The department has invested so much money on social workers only to dump them once they graduate. There are so many social workers out there who are unemployed, and majority of them end up taking jobs in other provinces. The picture that we are getting here is that this province does not have shortage of social workers, and yet we know that our people need social service on daily basis. We are also worried about inadequate budget allocation to various NPOs that provide social services, which compromises their effectiveness and quality of service provided. There is no way that this department will fulfill its mandate when it can't deal with the smallest of things, such as budget allocation to NPOs. The laziness to think outside the box by this department has dire consequences to survive delivery in this province, and unfortunate, it is the poorest of the poor who are on the receiving end. Honorable Speaker, we find it difficult to understand why food in insecure households in Limpopo increased from 5% to 5%, in 2019 to 6.99%. This simply means that there are many poor households in Limpopo had inadequate access food. It's not my mother tongue, please. Food during the period since 2013 to date. The department must also clarify and address the drastic reduction in food provision and center for 16% to 3, ensure continuity of support to affected individuals through alternative models. Can we get an update on Pasha Sila Tule, one-stop center on land rezoning application which was since made on behalf of Limpopo government to rezone the expropriated land? Honorable Speaker, it is disturbing that office accommodation remains in a great challenge in the department, particularly at district and sub-district level. Everything with the government is a challenge. They ran out of ideas to govern this province. They are tired. Furthermore, the tools of trade in the department remains a great concern, in particular transport. vehicles, computers, and office furniture at district and sub-district. How do you run the departments such as social development without basic tools of trade and expect better outcomes? That is why you have regressed from unqualified audit opinion to qualified audit opinion. The political and administrative leadership at the highest level of the department are lazy people, lacking the necessary vision and proper strategies to turn things around. Can you outline the strategies the department has on gender-based violence and femicide? Because indeed, these two issues continues to pose a serious challenge to communities. Can we get an update on how you are dealing with the complaint concerning appointment of security companies in the department? The allegation that security companies irregularly appointed in this department quite is a serious one. One paper. Your department was directed for finish the committee with progress report within 14 working days, including updates regarding the investigation into the appointment.
Honorable Letwaba, there is an order. There is an order. Deputy, Honorable Nkonyan.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Can the Speaker determine if it's parliamentary for Honorable Litwaba to refer to me as Oyang Papela?
Honorable Deputy Chief Whip.
No. Thanks, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I think it was just an egregious error on her part. I think what she said is unparliamentary, and she must accordingly and duly withdraw.
Yeah, there are some words that I missed. Honorable Letwaba, re kgopela le withdraw with the word bantalela. Bamphaphela. Hey, akal kwa botse bamphaphela.
Honorable Speaker, he bona ba re monna ba re 1 2 3 ha le utlu mara na ha ke ira reverse le re ke withdraw a ke tse bore na ke tsona di rules tse di lebaneng nna ke noshi bona ba sa le ko morago.
Okay, Honorable Letwaba, when they're doing, they're saying the words that are unparliamentary. You must raise, usantile Michelle Letso, le call order. Or into the rules. So, Lena, very hopela le withdraw the word because na ya tsamaya re kgone bella on the mat. Ralebo.
Yeah, next time ke tla khopela tshwarelo.
Wa tshwarele kgopediwane jwale withdrawane jwale. Le withdrawane jwale mma Letwaba, a ona next time ka mo sitting. We don't work with the word next time, Mikam.
Dilo tse di diragalang mo a se tsona ka mone. O ka re a ke withdraw ke tla withdraw ke setse ke kgotsofetsa.
Honorable Letwaba. Honorable Letwaba. Honorable Letwaba. Ko kgopela le late mic le bolele.
Ke o laitile. Ke a withdraw.
Thank you very much, Felele Chang. You've got 1 minute, 28 seconds. Thank you.
Why is the department not prioritizing the appointment of individuals in senior management positions to improve leadership, stability, and accountability? Honorable Speaker, we are also disappointed that the department is not accelerating an implementation of ICT infrastructure to ensure all offices have reliable internet access to support digital transformation and service delivery. Can we get a sober and solid justification for the declining target for foster care services to ensure they align with the actual needs of vulnerable children in the province? We demand answers because it is our job to hold you accountable. Ke a leboga.
Ra leboha, Honorable Ledwaba. I shall now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable
Speaker.
Mate Matsubane Simon. Deputy Chief Whip, before chairperson, Okanobla.
Chair, on the point of privilege, we wanted to submit as the whippery that sometimes it's unfair to this honorable house, whereby a person who is not a member, where issues have been processed in the portfolio committee, come and say things that have been clarified and come and debate on those matters, because some of the matters that they are raising, they've been addressed like Selatole and others. So that's our humble submission, that it will be fair if those people who are debating are members of those respective committees. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Whip. Oh, and that is not the first time we raised that. It has been raised several times. So let's hope at the next sitting they won't do that. We'll just not allow a person that is not a member of the committee to come and debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker, and the Speaker of Limpopo Legislature, Dr. Mokomo Makurupechi, Madam Grace, the Premier of Limpopo, Honorable Constance Ramatuba, Chief Whip, Honorable Manuko Mukhonyana, Deputy Chief Whip, Honorable Rogers Munama, Chair of Chairs, Honorable Andrew Mukone, Deputy Chair of Chairs, Honorable Gezani Peter Ngoveni, and all members of Hassani Ngoveni, and all members of Executive Council present here today, and all members of this August House. Deputy Speaker, before I start with my prepared presentation, I want to make sure that I make the work of Honorable Razilani very easy today, so that she's not going to take 3 minutes in responding to some of the things that were presented here. And I acknowledge that learning is a lifelong process. And in this house, we've been able to learn new things. We are no longer getting devastated, we are getting devastating. It's a new process. But Honorable Speaker, I'm devastating simply because one of my very objective member of an opposition, Honorable Marx, today stood before this public podium and raised issues which I believe that when we were in the portfolio committee, he was always the first one to move for the adoption of such issues. The first one that you raised, Honorable Marx, in terms of the adoption of the budget, you were the first one that moved, and you were seconded by Honorable Shai. The second one on the withdrawal of the report by the department, when the portfolio committee was to approve that request, Honorable Marx, you were the first one to move for the approval, and you were seconded by Honorable Nguta. And Honorable Marx, today I'm also shocked, not necessarily shocked, but devastating. Because out of all positive inputs that you have made in the meetings of the Portfolio Committee, and I want to emphasize and that all positive. That's why I have said that one of the objective members of the opposition, all the positive inputs that we have made in our Portfolio Committee meetings, I didn't know that today you will take a very different posture. And I'm not sure whether it's that politicking or grandstanding, or maybe you are taking this posture because you are under supervision. I'm not sure. Now, these ones, we are not, Honorable Razilani, please, we are not going to deal with these ones that are devastating. Because any.
Is that an order, Honorable Swapel?
I'm still on introduction of the debate.
Speaker, we want to rise on a point of correction to assist Honorable Mate that is not devastating, it's devastating.
Oh, no,
You may continue, Honorable Mate.
I understand, Honorable Sobela. In actual fact, you are correcting somebody. Because from where I'm seated, I know it's devastated and but that's why I said learning is a lifelong process. Every day we learn new things like devastating. Honorable members, as much as we are trying to be devastating, as much as English is not my mother tongue, but I know how to correctly use it. Any appointment of a service provider that has never been declared irregular by Auditor General of South Africa, it means it was a regular and legitimate appointment. Now, somebody who cannot differentiate between devastating and whatever comes here and wants to be a super AG. And this person, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip, I'm shocked and flabbergasted that today she can come here and speak about issues of social development, of the Portfolio Committee of Social Development, when she has never even attended a single meeting. And to make matters worse, she's still a new one that the Office of the Speaker is still arranging induction for her. You are new. When I was sworn in here, you were not here. You came here on the basis of the death of another person. So don't come here and try to be funny. New ones must relax and learn the ropes and start to divest us later. The Department on Social Development plays a pivotal role in ensuring that all citizens have access to essential services that are fundamental to their well-being. At the heart of its mandate is the commitment to providing health care, basic needs, social security, and social assistance to all those in need. The department is a very crucial department as it works to ensure that citizens have access to basic needs such as sufficient food. These fundamental necessities are essential for human survival, and lacking this can lead to poverty, malnutrition, and a range of social ills. By providing support in these areas, the department helps to reduce poverty. The Limpopo Development Plan for 2025 to 2030 has 3 priorities. See, English, if you know it, you can still read it faster. economic growth and job creation, this priority entails that driving inclusive growth and job creation through economic transformation and international cooperation. This priority advocates for increased employment opportunities and promote economic development. 2, poverty reduction speaks on reducing poverty through accelerated social change and improved quality of life in Limpopo citizens. This will enhance social welfare and promote human development. 3, capable, ethical, and developmental state. This priority strengthens crime prevention and ensures we have the safer communities. It also supports investing in human capital to build a capable and developmental state. The ANC has always been an advocate for economic and social development, as it alluded in its 2024 manifesto, where it outlined 6 of its priorities that speaks to transforming the economy and creating jobs. As the Portfolio Committee on Social Development, we are pleased that the department promises to enhance accountability through regular reporting to the Portfolio Committee, which they are doing, which will assist the committee in facilitating better oversight, which we are doing. The province faces significant challenges within the high employment rates, particularly amongst the youth and women. In its attempt to creating employment opportunities, the department works with NPOs and CBOs. These NPOs assist in eradicating poverty and creating employment opportunities in communities. And when we discuss these issues, some of your people that sit in this committee, they come and discuss and debate something different. When we speak of social development, we cannot be talking about expropriation of land. And these are the things that confronts us every day in that portfolio committee. And Honorable Marx is my witness. Yes, that time is gone. But in any way, we are moving accordingly for the adoption of the budget and the APP. We are adopting. Again, we are addressing these ones. I'm not going to take your question because it's going to be irrelevant.
Honorable Ledwaba, key question or key order, marabolelang.
I see question, because a question. Neki kupa ori, reskaratellana because I not taka come and hutlo nam ukas.
Then go to your kitchen.
Re berekile le bo mam Lydia sinki ke bone ba motella ka mokgono ene ke khopela re ba ska ba ntella le nna.
Re to fetola Deputy Speaker. Re to mo fetola mara ga onore I deserve my response because I'm not going to dignify irrelevant comments by responding to them. That's English. Then go to Abet.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. In simple terms, Honorable Ledwaba is asking for respect, honorable members. I shall now call upon the MEC, Honorable Furufero Florence Radzirani, to come and do the response.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, members of the Executive Council, the Chief Whip and the entire Whipari, the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Mate, and our sincere condolences to the Mate family for the loss of your loved one. The Chair of Chairs and Deputy Chair of Chairs, all honorable members, a very blessed afternoon. Honorable Chair, honorable members of the Portfolio Committee, as they've indicated, they managed to try and clarify a number of issues, especially for the benefit of other members of the Portfolio Committee and those who are not part of the Portfolio Committee. One thing that we appreciate as social development, Honorable Deputy Speaker, is that even in this August House, we do have our clients. You will understand what we deal with as social development. Hence, from time to time, we exercise our patience so that we accommodate all of them, regardless of the fact that they are honorable members representing members of the public. I want to concur with Honorable Mnama that in terms of the achievements for the targets that we set for ourselves, it is true that there are targets that we didn't manage to achieve on the basis that we were operating as the department with a staff complement seated at 48%. But standing here, I can indicate to this August House that we are hard at work, and we want to appreciate the leadership of the Honorable Premier and other members of the Executive Council for making it a point that they approve the more than 152 posts, those that are funded, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I also want to encourage honorable members. When provincial treasury allocate budgets, we are also afforded opportunity as individual departments to come and indicate how are we going to spend the funds allocated to the department. Even when it comes to the funded vacant positions, we have explained ourselves in this house. There's no way that we can wake up tomorrow without the budget and make sure we absorb all the social workers who are out there. But according to our plan, we have already started to appoint a number of them, and we are confident that each and every financial year, we will make it a point that we give support to those social workers, because when they are part of the department, they make our work very easy. It also goes to the tools of trade, something that we have already articulated thoroughly before the portfolio committee on how best are we going to respond to that. Deputy Speaker, the issue of partial slatulate has been a thorny issue, and we want to assure this House that the matter has been attended to. And as I'm talking to you now, the land planner is in the process of preparing application for temporary occupation, because we can't just wake up and start to occupy the building. There are certain processes that must be appreciated and honored by the department. But very soon, that those offices will be utilized by the department. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, I think we must set the record straight, especially when it comes to our partnership with the NPOs. You don't just wake up and start to say you are going to open a criminal case for a certain NPO that is operating in the province. Remember, those vulnerable people, so much as we have the obligation to protect them, they don't just wake up and take themselves to those NPOs. There are family members involved. There are processes that must be followed. So for Honorable Marks to say we've failed to open criminal cases, if you go and read our responses, especially on areas where you pose questions, we have answered you. If you are not satisfied, I think you will have to rewrite other questions, unlike coming here and start to raise things that might send a message that as the department, we don't care. We care very much about our people. The department is on firm course to meet the annual targets of assisting 12,000 vulnerable individuals through our social relief programs. Despite numerous challenges posed by high incidence of disaster and trauma across our communities, we continue to respond adequately, and we are on course to meet our targets in this regard. The department remains committed to providing essential services to people living with disabilities and older persons by ensuring the availability of suitable residential facilities. These vulnerable groups continue to seek refuge within government care, and it is our responsibility to ensure that these facilities are maintained in excellent conditions. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. We shall now call upon the Honorable Midiawa Tuchivase, the Portfolio Committee on Oversight Mechanism Committee, for consideration and adoption of the reports.
Ndando, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Dr. Makurupecha, the Premier, Honorable Premier, Dr. Popi Ramatuba, Muira Mchiro Wambuzi, Singola Masin, executive members, members of the legislature, I move for the adoption and consideration of 2025-2026 annual performance plan and budget of the Limpopo Legislature. So I move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Votovere Vuchivase. Now I'm calling for a seconder. Honorable Dr. Selane.
Honorable Speaker, I, Chair Selane, stand here to support the Honorable Chivas, 210 Sibasa. Galavo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Selane. I shall now call upon Honorable Metle Dikelate.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. The Speaker, Honorable Dr. Makurupechi, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Tebogo Mamrobela, who is the presiding officer here today, the Premier of our province, Singola Masingo, Honorable Dr. Popira Matuba, the leader of governance business, Honorable Mbaisikopo Magamu, the esteemed members of the Executive Council, the Chief Whip of the Legislature, Honorable Isop Mokhonyana, the Deputy Chief Whip, Honorable Rogers Munama, and members of the Whipari, the Chair of Chairs, Honorable Thabo Mukoni, the Deputy Chair of Chairs, Honorable Hassan Ngobeni, and all chairpersons of portfolio committees, honorable members of guests in the gallery, good afternoon or good day. We are gathered here today as honorable members of the August House in a month pertinently and correctly dubbed Mandela Month, a month of service to humanity. The same humanity that we saw in the unifier, Comrade David David Mabuza, the former deputy president of the country, who crisscrossed the whole country building houses for our people. We saw much of his work when he handed over fully furnished houses in Mangweni, Seshego, and other parts of the province. Honorable Deputy Speaker, indeed, He epitomized the spirit of humanity, just like the recipient of the Order of Bapungulu, the Nobel Peace Laureate, the father of the nation, Nelson Mandela, who once said, I quote, I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. I close quote. As the Committee on Oversight Mechanism, we have a singular responsibility of being that friend who is independent to help build this institution to what it should be for decades to come. Our constructive criticism is not predicted on seeking one's own glory or tearing down the good work being done, but to build. Our engagement at the committee level comes from the love we have to the institution. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we are driven by the desire to be the agents for progressive change. The change we are referring to is not only embedded in many speeches we make, but also on how we run our administration. In the previous administration, the legislature has only 3 programs, but now we have 4 programs that will enable the institution to be more effective and focused. As the population grows in the province, we also need to make room for the institution to fulfill its core mandates. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in the 7th Parliament, the Rousing Vision for Limpopo Legislature is a capable and representative legislature that aspires to unite and improve the lives of the people of Limpopo, like Comrade Didi Mabuza. It is indeed crucial to ensure that the people of Limpopo are more united towards a common goal to ensure that their lives are changed for the better. We note that in the 7th administration, much emphasis is on the support of the work done by members through committees. Like Program 1 on governance and leadership should enable the honorable members to perform their responsibilities with less hindrances. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the budget that has been allocated will heighten the oversight that work that is done by the legislature towards ensuring that there is a proper governance and service delivery, which our people yearn for this 7th administration. And if you continue in this path, our people will time and again give us more mandates to lead this province. For the legislature to be relevant and do what it must do, or to be seen doing what it must do, it is when it goes where people are and listen to them and hold the executive account. We note the plenty of annual performance plan on taking the legislature to the people, which finds its expression from the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. As the legislature brings this fruition, that what Mandela said when he said, I quote, a fundamental concern for others in our individual and community lives will go a long way in making the world the better place we so passionately dreamed of, I close quote. Going to communities which are less privileged and hear from them about their challenges will assist the provincial administration in improving services to the people and to be tandem with its people. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we also note the planned 3 sectoral parliaments for this financial year, where one of them has already taken place, will go a long way in engaging citizens of Limpopo about Limpopo they want to see and experience. It will be important to prioritize the youth, as it has been women and children who continues to bear the brunt of the most societal challenges. The legislature is an oversight body that is entrusted with enormous responsibility of ensuring that our democracy works post-election. We dare not fail in that responsibility. The people must speak. We should listen and proceed to implement our people's aspirations. We will continue to play oversight role in Limpopo legislature as it seeks to achieve the programs and plans it is in the parliament. Honorable Deputy Speaker, for the legislature to imagine to margin itself is not an isolation with matters of national importance, but also provincial impact. A budget of parliamentary services has been set aside to assist members in their engagement with the National Council of Provinces. And the committee understands that there is only one state, and that state is ably led by the President, Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. In the recent past, we have seen many important bills being passed during, among others, Bella Act, the Expropriation Bill, and many other important bills. While there could be a legal dispute on the legislature outlined above, we are pleased that proper consultations with our people in the lawmaking process were followed. The work done by the committee cannot be understated. From preparations needed when preparing for the oversight to public participation, the decision that is taken by the government should be informed, legitimate, and aligned with the needs of the people. This will go a long way in empowering our citizens in the province and trust that in the government. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as I conclude, I would like to conclude by quoting a world-renowned prolific writer, Alice Walker. I quote, "Look closely at the present you are constructing. It should look like the future you are dreaming." I close quote. In the word of Comrade Didi Mabuza, always be reminded that we are called upon to organize, mobilize our society, and listen to the urgent plight of the people with the sole intention of providing lasting solutions to their circumstances. We are here as the legislature to provide the lasting solution to our people, as envisioned by the former Deputy President Didi Mabuza, the pedagogue, man of people, and the unifier. As the ANC Deputy Speaker, we support the annual performance plan and budget for consideration and adoption by this August House. I so move accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Metle Ramahlola Dikeledi. I shall now call upon Honorable Hemarnas Franz Marx.
Honorable Speaker, hopefully with this debate we'll regain a little bit of that objectivity and not be accused of being under supervision. Honorable Speaker, the annual performance plan claims to be responsive to the Limpopo Legislature's constitutional obligations. However, in practice, the issue is normally not about the quality of annual planning, but rather a consistent failure to properly implement those plans. Although the Premier is the face of this province, the Speaker is the face of this legislature. Honorable Speaker, I need to commend you on the discipline that you maintain in this August House. Comparing the discipline in this legislature with Parliament, other legislatures, and other municipal councils, it is evident that you run this House with an iron fist. However, Honorable Speaker, that being said, and there's always a but, when it comes to the administration is seemingly playing you like a yo-yo. For example, the core function of the legislature is to promulgate legislation to better the lives of our residents in Limpopo. Yet, I submitted a private member's bill for certification as far back as November last year. 9 months later, the most basic first step, certification, has still not been completed. During engagement with the Oversight Committee, you yourself acknowledged problems within the administration and undertook to attend to them. Yet, despite writing to me on 1 July 2025, no progress has been made. After 2 full weeks since your letter, the certification of a simple draft private member's bill remains outstanding, and in fact remains outstanding for 9 months. Meanwhile, other serious concerns continues to mount. As the Democratic Alliance, we are deeply troubled by media reports regarding the alleged irregularities in appointment of the Secretary of the Provincial Legislature. Although we welcome the investigation he initiated into the reported purchase of 2 luxury vehicles valued at 6.5 million, we must ask, why has the investigation report not been finalized after more than 2 months? This matter is both urgent and necessary in light of rising public anger. It's frankly unconscionable and such extravagant spending is seemingly taking place while our country is struggling to maintain basic fiscal stability. There's clearly a serious dysfunction at the heart of this institution. We note reports that several officials are currently on suspension, but the rationale process followed, planned steps, has not been fully communicated to this legislature. These administrative failings are further laid bare in the APP document itself, which was riddled with spelling mistakes, formatting, and typographical errors, which is an embarrassment for this institution. Speaker, these are not isolated issues. They reflect a growing pattern of poor governance, lack of accountability, and a disregard for legislative integrity. You cannot plead ignorance. You have been directly and regularly engaged on this issue. This is simply unacceptable and reflects negatively on you as our Honourable Speaker. And I must add, Honourable Dr. Speaker, this House is immensely proud of you and your achievements. Do not let the failures of the administration cause us to lose confidence and trust in you. It's these concerns, if these concerns are not addressed decisively and transparently, this House may soon be forced to reconsider its confidence in your leadership. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Max. I shall now call upon Honorable Molapo. He is not in the house. Honorable Ledwaba, are you standing in for? Okay. Now, I shall now call upon Honorable, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Bomidiabatu Kennedy Wotowere Chivas.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Bometevo Mama Rowell, Honorable Speaker, Me Dokotela Makuma Makrupecha, Honorable Premier Wome Dokotela Popira Matuba, Honorable Chief Whip and the Deputy Chief Whip, Chair of Chairs and Deputy Chairs, Honorable Members, Leader of the Government Business, Ndiabaresha. Ndiabaresha. Honorable Marx, you were raising issues which are not in our APP. And we call them Mabarivari. Do you know Mabarivari? Eh? Yeah. Eh? Yeah. ESAs. Eh? It's just like when you go to the river, you listen to the voice of the frogs. Allow me to join committee members and welcome the presentation of the budget as presented by the Speaker of the Limpopo Legislature, Honorable Makoma Makurupech. During her budget speech, she presented an allocation of 6.7 million as the budget for the 2025-2026 financial year. The legislature is an autonomous institution and an agent for transformation that strive to defend, strengthen, deepen, and maintain democracy. These are the principles that guided the Constitution, which is the foundation of a democratic South Africa. It is therefore imperative that the provincial legislature passes inclusive and forward-thinking laws and policies that not only upholds constitutional values but actively enhance the quality of life for all citizens. Equally important, we must ensure citizens' meaningfully and effective participation in the lawmaking process. Our oversight, debates, and engagement should be able to translate into a meaningful democracy that makes positive, tangible changes in the lives of our people. The legislature should therefore be a transparent, consultative, and accountable institution. During the presentation of the APP, the legislature indicated that they plan to procure 11 vehicles, which will be includes two 8-seaters, and other 9 vehicles to replace the current fleet that have exceeded 150,000 kilometers. They emphasize that there is a challenge with the budget and that they will have to wait for the budget adjustment. The committee is of the view that the legislature indicate in a report that the number of vehicles that have reached the 150 kilometers, how and when are they going to be disposed? The legislature must also indicate the report how much money is expected to be recouped. This might help in mitigating the challenge of lack of budget to acquire new vehicles. In terms of the key indicators under public participation and petition, the legislature plan is to achieve 100%. We have also noticed that on parliamentary outreach program, sectoral parliaments and educational workshops, the targets will be achieved up the third quarter of the 2025-2026 financial year, while the engagement with stakeholders as key indicators is planned for the second and third quarter. This is an indication that the institution is committed to ensure that the citizen of this province will be exposed and understand fully the service that the legislature provides. The committee will conduct its oversight role to ensure that the indicators as approved in the APP are achieved as planned. We noted that the institution is in the process to address the understaffing. It was reported that there is a progress report to address this challenge, which will follow some model. A total number of 8 posts have been filled. Interviews for 6 positions have been concluded and 3 are attached to committees. It was also reported that an organizational structure has been reviewed which incorporate assistant committee coordinators. We believe that this post will be filled without prejudice and expertise will be considered. We will effectively conduct an oversight role regarding the filling of the vacant post. During the presentation of the APP, we noted that there were consultations with stakeholders on the change of a vision and mission of the legislature, including the implications. This reviewed vision was part of the broad strategic planning session held in November 2024 with inputs from different divisions, and there is no challenge. The legislature must clarify whether suggestions made by honorable members that included non-seized and non-racial are included in a new vision and mission. With regards to library service, we believe that the legislature will move with the times in terms of digitalization of documents in line with the 4th Industrial Revolution. We believe that library service should be able to move with the times and ensure that e-books are also available in the library of the legislature. Honorable Speaker, we are concerned about facilitation of bills from provincial departments. The majority of bills facilitated were from the NCOP. We are rightfully concerned because the provincial administration itself should be able to facilitate the proposal of bills in response to the legislative needs of this province. We should be able to review provincial bills to ensure that they are on par with the economic, political, and social developments of Limpopo province. Also, when bills from the NCOP are received by the legislature, they must also find a way to be distributed to constituency office for ease of accessibility by stakeholders and members of the public. In conclusion, we have noticed that the legislature in the previous years was receiving an unqualified audit opinion. We encourage that the same momentum should be maintained, receive an unqualified audit opinion without material misstatements. Honorable Speaker, the committee support the adoption of the budget with the recommendation made during the engagement of the annual performance plan and budget. Thank you.
Roribua, Honorable Botobere, Bochivasi. We are now calling upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Economic Development, Environment and Tourism, Honorable. Oh, sorry. Oh. Speak. Let me call upon the Honorable Dr. Makoma Grace Makurupecha, the Speaker, to come and respond. My apologies.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker, for the opportunity. Allow me to greet you as the presiding officer of the day, Deputy Speaker Metebo Mamrobela, the Premier of the province, Dr. Popira Matuba, who's with us today, all members of the Executive Council, the Chief Whip, Honorable Isob Mokhonyana, Leader of Government Business, Honorable Makamu, Deputy Chief Whip, Rogers Monama. I don't know who's the real Rogers. Chair of Chairs and Deputy Chair of Chairs, Ntate Mukoni and Ntate Ngoveni, the Chairperson of the Oversight Mechanism and the entire committee. I'm greeting you and all honorable members. I take this opportunity to say, ndikolosha vumidi ya vatu uchairperson wa committee na committee yote. I think I don't have to say much. The committee has said a mouthful. They've debated in line with what the APP says. They've raised their concerns as they say, but I must just remind the August House that maybe I should read what the role of the committee is. According to Section 4.1 of the Financial Management of Parliament and Provincial Legislature Act 10 of 2009, read with Rule 57 of the Rules of and Orders, an oversight mechanism committee must maintain oversight on the financial management of the legislature, considering instruction issued by the executing authority in terms of Section 37, 5, 60, and 66 of the Act, considering the annual report, and performing any other function specified in this act or the rules by the legislature. And I can assure you, the committee is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And we appreciate the work of the committee. I will not say much. We'll take all your inputs, including the amendments in the mission of the legislature, and we'll correct the mistakes that we have seen. Honorable members who have got a problem, the staff of the legislature lobby you to do wrong things because they're not doing their job. Stop it. We please that don't be allowed to be loaded bid by the officials because they do wrong things because they want to achieve certain things and they say we've got political backup. We are pleading with you. For us to have the oversight mechanism doing their work, we need you as members. When you have got a committee coordinator, is not your friend. You are the chair. You must take responsibility as the chair. And if you have got issues, you must raise it with chair of chairs. So avoid interfacing with staff, because that is what is causing us problems. Honorable Max, we have heard you. We'll deal with our members' issue. The issue of the Mabaribari, which chairperson have indicated, the committee sees with that matter. So let's allow the oversight committee to deal with the matter accordingly. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable the Speaker of the Legislature, Dr. Makoma Makrupecha. I shall now call upon the chairperson of a Portfolio Committee on Economic Development, Environment and Tourism, Honorable Mapula Mukava.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the Premier, Chief Whip, Deputy Chief Whip, Chair of Chairs, Deputy Chair of Chairs, leaders of oppositions, MECs present here, honorable members, good afternoon. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I rise to move that the report of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism 2025-2026 Annual Performance Plan and Budget be adopted as the report of this August House. I move. So move.
Thank you very much. May I call for it? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, of Lidet.
Thank you very much for noticing that. I'm calling on a seconder. Honorable Nkonyane.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. The report carrying, we therefore second the move as moved by the Honorable Chair of the Committee.
Thank you, Wipari, Chairperson.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise to move that the report of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism 2025-2026 Annual Performance Plan and Budget of LEADER be adopted as the report of this August House. I so move.
Thank you very much. I call upon seconder, Honorable Nkakareng Rakhwale.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I, Nkakareng Rakhwale, second the presentation is made by Honorable Chair of LEADER. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you once more, Deputy Speaker. I rise again to move that the report of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism 2025-2026 Annual Performance Plan and Budget of LTA be adopted as the report of this August House. I so move.
Thank you, Chairperson. Seconder, Honorable Piedi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I, Maseka Piedi, rise to second the presentation made by the Chair of LEADER. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise again I move that the report of economic development, environment and tourism 2025-2026 annual performance plan and budget of Limpopo Gambling Board be adopted as the report of this August House. I so move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. The seconder, Honorable Shai.
Oh, no, thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable Mposani Boyshai, second the 2025-2026 APP and budget for LGB. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Shai. I shall now call upon Honorable Maringa Bongani Wesley.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, let me write on the protocol already established. I want to start by a quotation. I want to quote Nelson Mandela, the former president of the ruling party in the country. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made. It can be overcome and eradicated by actions of human beings. I close quote. These immortal words by our beloved Tata Mandela remind us that true leadership is measured by its commitment to uplifting the lives of the most vulnerable. As we approach Mandela Day, we are called to reflect on its vision about society and development of the country and society at large. Today we debate the annual performance plan of LIDAT, LIDA, LTA, and LGP, our progressive entities in the state, which are tasked with the responsibilities of uplifting the province in terms of economic development. Under ANC's government and its leadership, these entities or these institutions have made strides in driving the economy of this province to the level that it is today. We acknowledge the shortcomings that are there in respect of the challenges that some of these entities are facing. Honorable Speaker, the Limpopo Economic Development LITA stands as a very strong entity that government is looking up to grow the economy of the province and create as many jobs as we can possibly do. With a budget of over 1.144 billion attached to the institutions, we have set a very ambitious target in terms of job creation for the current financial year. We also have made commitments in terms of revitalization of the industries that we have as an entity here in the province. And one amongst key of those institutions that we need to pay attention to is the issue of putting together action and actually putting together progress in respect of your Masino Mercado SEZ, despite all the challenges that we have always been seeing there. We commend LITA for its focus on empowering previously disadvantaged groups. 40% of their procurement is dedicated to earmarked to women-owned businesses. 30% thereof also earmarked for youth-owned enterprises, so as to develop the economy of the province and also empower young people in terms of job creations. The efforts align with the ANC broader agenda of inclusive youth growth. Similarly, Limpopo Gambling Board has demonstrated excellence in governance with all its achievement in terms of clean audit and generating over 340 million in revenue and supporting over 3,000 families through employment in that space. However, the LGB is facing challenges in terms of your illegal participation and illegal entities that exist in terms of the gambling that is happening in the province. We call for the South African Police Services to also assist the entity to dismantle all these established entities that are running their illegal businesses in respect of gambling. The Limpopo Tourism Agency has also shown remarkable progress. However, the continued challenge of the LTA in respect of your audit, it's an issue that we want this entity to address. At some point, we need to grow to a point where we speak about all these entities receiving proper and qualified audits as opposed to the current situations that we are experiencing there. The other call that we are making as we adopt this budget is infrastructure development, and that relates to how we must grow the province regarding the issue of tourism. With tourism requires infrastructure development. It also requires infrastructure in respect of the roads and also in respect of conferencing facilities. If we can achieve that, as we intend to do so, we are going to grow the province and make it a #1 destination for all international tourists, and then they will all be coming to Limpopo. Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, the commitment of the ANC-led government in respect of embracing culture has always been observed through our commitment in relation to the festivals that we participate in, that is your Marula and your Mapungubwe Cultural Festival. We need to continue to embrace these two entities or activities as they relate and speaks to how we relate to ourselves in terms of our culture in the province. Honorable Speaker, the current situation that we have seen in respect of the other entities of the state and the shortcomings and the failures and the future of our new era, which stands in the balance, we still make a very clear call that government must intervene to assist that entity so that we can continue to service our communities in respect of your insurance space that we have always been participating. Honorable Speaker, Madiba taught us that action without vision is only passing time, and vision without action is merely daydreaming. Our vision for Limpopo is clear: a province where investment thrives, jobs are sustainable, and no communities left behind. And to achieve this, we are making the following recommendations. The department must continue to support all the boards that we have established in respect of our SEZs, both the Musina Makado and the one of Fitahomo towards SEZ, so as to get to a point where they function effectively. We are also making a recommendation that the SEZ, the board must continue to brief the department in respect of development in terms of the financial expenditures and progress and development on at least a monthly basis, so as we get to a point where we establish a fully fledged system that is running effectively in Musina Makado. A progress report on this investigation should also be submitted so that we are able to check how far we have moved. We also make a recommendation that we must fast track the confirmation of all processes in respect of Fitahomu towards the SEZ. And then we also make a commitment that the LGB must at least enhance its funding in terms of compliance for the processes of creation of jobs. Honorable Speaker, let me also make a small contribution regarding the transport situation that we have in respect of your GNT. I beg my pardon there in respect of complication as opposed to contribution. The situation that we have been experiencing in the province regarding the situation of the GNT is also one entity that we will not leave behind. We must make a clear call for government to make an intervention and put together the systems that are going to assist that entity to rise and come back to life so that we can service our people in respect of transport facilities that are available, as that entity has always been the most reliable means of transport for our people in the province, considering the space where it is operating and also the number of constituencies that we have always been serving through the same entities. All entities must align procurement, Honorable Speaker. All our entities that are there in leader must align their procurement with the province's 7% target for disability-owned enterprises and ensuring that no one is excluded. We have made an observation that majority of people who are living with their disabilities are not necessarily participating heavily in terms of your procurement processes in the economy. Honorable Speaker, as we approach Mandela Day, let us commit to his ideals by holding ourselves accountable to the people we serve. The ANC-led government has laid the foundation for growth, but work is far from over. Let us honor Tata Mandela not with empty platitudes, however, but with relentless action to build a Limpopo that works for all of us. Thank you very much. Ndolibuwa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Maringa Wellesley. I shall now call upon Honorable Veli Lechek.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and Speaker, Premier of the province, and all honorable members, and the leader of MK Party, Comrade John Govin. Honorable MEC, let me applaud you for the decision you took against the board of TNT. That was a good step in the right direction. TNT is a serious problem, MEC. Those buses that needs to be repaired, they mustn't wait for the new buses to come. They must start now repairing those buses. Our people need a mode of transport, more especially in the rural areas. And MEC, the Musena Makato, SEZ, it's a problem. That investigation must come as soon as tomorrow. We must be told what happened to the 600 million, because you only see a dumping site there compared to Fitahome towards the SEZ. You can see there is a development taking place there, different from Musina Makato. Those rubles and old yellow fleet that looks like the Kherekhere, they must tell us where did they get those fleet, because it came there, dumped there. They are old. There's nothing. There's no operation that took place there. So we do need that report, MEC. And MEC, we must promote our people. In the industrial parks here in Seshego, there is a lady who has occupied a warehouse there. She's producing material for hospitals. She's producing material for office, even furnitures for parliamentary village houses that are coming. We must give support to those people, MEC. We must not just dump them there, they continue paying a rent, whereas they do not make any money. And in the hospitals, they need that material. We must support, we should be leading by example, by being the first. And thanks, Honorable Maringa, you bought a table last. I think I'm going to follow you. And without the last 15 minutes, I'm giving it to Honorable Paskov to finish my speech. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Velile. And unfortunately, Honorable Baskop Makam is not on the speaker's list. So we shall now call upon Honorable Jacobus Frederick Smalley. So, Honorable Evelyn, you are standing in for him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. The Honourable Smala is still incapacitated after surgery, so I will read on his behalf. Speaker, in his budget speech, MEC Matibe speaks of taking bold steps with determination and purpose towards a more prosperous Limpopo, and proclaims that Ledet's draft budget has been crafted to drive economic activity, create jobs, and promote inclusive development. Speaker, as the Democratic Alliance in Limpopo, we can find no reason in this draft budget to support MEC Matiba's confidence, and we cannot in all conscience support this budget vote. Here is why. There is a strong possibility that when the statistics are released for the second quarter of this year, Limpopo will find itself officially in a recession. Our economy contracted in quarter one, and all indications are that it will do so again in quarter two. Between quarter 4, 2024 and quarter 1, 2025, we lost 55,000 jobs. Our expanded unemployment rate now stands at close to 50%. Speaker, Ledet itself acknowledges in a strategic plan and draft annual performance plan that Limpopo's growth rate is far below the required rate to address our challenges. The fact is, Ledet and its public entities have failed to grow the provincial economy and improve the quality of life for the people of Limpopo. Facing a growing fiscal and unemployment crisis, alongside failing government capacity, it can no longer be business as usual, Speaker. We must confront some uncomfortable truths. Speaker, Leader, the Limpopo Economic Development Agency is supposedly at the center of Ledet's and our province's economic development effort. Slightly more than 2.2 billion allocated to Ledet is allocated to Leader. Of that, 70% of Leader's budget is set to be consumed by GNT and the MMSEZ. Yet both are sucking the fiscus dry, are in a state of crisis, showing no developmental return, plagued by unresolved government governance failures, and hardly operational, functional, or coherent. At its peak, GNT operated a fleet of 540 buses, served over 200 routes, transported more than 36 million passengers per annum, and covered roughly 36 million kilometers. Today, it faces collapse, with currently only 23 operational buses. Its turnaround attempts are in tatters. MEC Matibe proposes to divert funds to set aside to purchase new buses to cover operational expenditure. We cannot continue to spend more and get less in return. As the DA, we believe that we need a full review of the subsidized bus transport system in Limpopo, including GNT. Speaker, it is now almost a decade since the divisive and controversial MMSEZ was proclaimed. Yet, despite at least 150 million rand already spent on infrastructure, there is still no tangible infrastructure or job creation progress. We reiterate our call for an independent forensic audit into the affairs of the MMSEZ. Speaker, another Leader entity, New Era Insurance, is facing an existential operational and licensing crisis, with its license suspended by the South African Reserve Bank's Prudential Authority. Speaker, as the DA, we must question the efficacy of Leader as Limpopo's economic development vehicle. We ask, what real value, assurance, and fiduciary responsibilities do we get from a board costing in excess of 65 million rand per annum? And ultimately, Ledet must account. Speaker, viewed through the prism of the GNU's apex priorities, this draft budget fails to drive inclusive growth and job creation, contribute to decreasing poverty and the high cost of living, or assist in stopping the rot and inefficiencies and developing a capable and ethical developmental state. We cannot support this budget vote. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wilson. We shall now call upon Honorable Mukhala Adikutato. She is not in the house. Honorable Dwaba is not standing in for her. We shall now go to the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Memapula Anamukaba.
As for Anna. Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Honorable Premier, and all protocol observed, good afternoon once more. As we approach Mandela Day, we are called once again to reflect on the enduring legacy of Tata Nelson Mandela, a legacy rooted in justice, service, and the unwavering belief in a better tomorrow. Madiba taught us that it is in your hands to create a better world for all who live in it. Today, as custodians of oversight and development, we gather in this house not just to critique and approve plans, but to honor that legacy through action by ensuring that the policies and budget of LIDET and its entities translate into real opportunities for the people of Limpopo. Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank members of the committee for their robust and thoughtful debate in the house, in this house today. Importantly, I thank them for the wavering commitment to the work of the committee as we close our deliberations on the 2025-2026 annual performance plan and budget of LIDET and its entities, LEADER, LTA, and the LGB. I rise with clarity and conviction. This debate affirms the strength of our democratic institutions. Oversight is not a box-ticking exercise. It is a cornerstone of accountability. And as a chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, I can assure this House that the committee exercise its fulfillment, its full mandate to scrutinize, question, and push these entities to do better for the people of this of Limpopo. Hey, something is wrong here. Can I use my phone? Honorable Speaker, let me speak plainly. Yes, there are areas that requires urgent improvement, expenditure to execution. The underperformance in agro-processing targets must be addressed. The LTA 2% procurement for persons with disability must rise to the 7% departmental standard. And the LGB, while performing admirably, needs a budget that matches its enforcement responsibilities. But these concerns are not ignored, they are documented in our recommendations. They are met with action plans, not apathy. Honorable Speaker, the Department of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism is entrusted with a mandate that is both urgent and ambitious. To stimulate inclusive economic growth and build a competitive environment for investment in Limpopo, to fulfill these bold projects such as the Messina Mercado Special Economic Zone and the Fitaho Mutubazi Industrial Park were launched to attract large-scale investments and drive industrialization. Honorable members, while we recognize the vision behind Messina Mercado SEZ, the committee is deeply concerned by the lack of visible progress despite substantial year-on-year expenditure on infrastructure. Budget after budget has been allocated, yet the people of Limpopo have seen very little to show for the resources poured into this project. It is therefore not only fair, it is necessary to ask whether the Messina Mercado SEZ was properly conceptualized, whether the feasibility studies were realistic, and whether the projects remain viable under current economic conditions. This is a matter that demands urgent attention from both the executive and the oversight structure of this House. In contrast, Fitaho Mutubazi Industrial Park is showing commendable momentum. The committee notes progress on critical infrastructure such as the bulk perimeter fencing, electricity, and ICT infrastructure. This is how industrial zones should function strategically phased, well coordinated, and visible, aligned to job creation and local economic development. We encourage leaders to continue leveraging Fitaho Mutubazi as a model of good practice and a scale investment platform. Honorable Speaker, one issue that weighs heavily on the committee is the situation of New Era Life. The withdrawal of its insurance license by the Prudential Authority is a serious development driven by the entity's failure to maintain the required capital adequate levels. However, the committee agrees with the department that New Era Life can still play a strategic role in fostering financial inclusion, especially for low-income and rural communities in Limpopo. To this end, we make a strong and urgent call to the provincial government to recapitalize New Era Life and and to do so without delay. This will ensure the entity meets the compliance requirements of the Prudential Authority ahead of the September deadlines, while the search for a suitable strategic investor continues. Failure to act now could result in the permanent loss of a provincial asset that holds potential to democratize access to financial services. Equally, we must highlight the promise of Limpopo Connection, an entity with the potential to bridge the digital divide and unlock economic opportunities in even the most remote villages. Limpopo Connection has already laid over 140 kilometers of fiber backbone connecting towns from Bela to Messina via Polokwane. The core network infrastructure exists. What is needed now is a credible strategic partner to scale its operations and ensure long-term financial sustainability. The committee knows that Limpopo Connection is currently in the process of evaluating potential investors. We therefore urge government to exercise patience and strategic discipline, allowing this process to be finalized thoroughly and in line with the public interest. The future of broadband access in Limpopo, particularly in rural and underserved areas, depend on getting this right. The committee that I led never hesitant to fear to critique when it's deserved. But the committee's criticism is always grounded in fairness and its endeavor to sharpen, not discard, the instruments of governance. I stand here today not only as the chairperson of the committee, but as the representatives of the people of Limpopo deployed by our glorious movement, the African National Congress. Let me remind the House that our communities are not interested in political point scoring. They want results, job infrastructure, growth, and accountability. Let us adopt this report with that in mind. Let us reaffirm our commitment to build a Limpopo that works for all urban and rural youth and elderly businesses and workers. I therefore move that this House adopt the annual performance plan and budget of Leader LTA and the LGB as the official report of this House. Honorable Speaker, these subsidiaries, Messina Makadofida Homo, towards New Era and Limpopo Connection, represent the cornerstone of Limpopo's economic development strategy. When they succeed, our people benefit, but when they falter, it is the youth, the unemployed, and the vulnerable who bear the cost. That is why the Portfolio Committee will continue to apply pressure where needed, celebrate progress and ensure that public funds yield public values. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Anna Mukaba. I shall now call upon the MEC to come and do respond. MEC was strike Boldwin Madibe.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Greetings to the Speaker, the Premier, and standing on the protocol, because 3 minutes can run very fast. Let me start by appreciating the engagements that we received from the Portfolio Committee as led by Honorable Mukaba, and indicate that all the inputs that we have given, those who were debating the APP and budget, those inputs we really appreciate. We must indicate, Honorable Maringa, that indeed the issue of illegal gambling is one of the key challenges. Gambling Board is one of the entities that is able to bring money to the fiscus, and for us to continue receiving that money that will assist in service delivery, we must protect that environment. And we are working very well with SAPS in terms of ensuring that we deal with the issue of illegal gambling. We also appreciate the issues around LTA in terms of the dealing with the businesses of people with disabilities as well as people, young people and women-owned businesses. We appreciate the inputs from Honorable Jack, and we really appreciate that he has put and left some minutes for Honorable Makam. Honorable Smale was part of the meeting. We engaged and debated, and he approved the report. We are surprised. We need that term, Honorable Munama, of somebody who debates in the portfolio committee, accept, and then when they come here, they reject the report. We understand why they can't support GNT, because GNT does not serve their constituency. Tina will continue to support GNT and make it possible because it supports our people, vulnerable people on the ground. We also understand why they don't support Musina Makato SEZ. That is why we also know that there are NGOs that are there opposing. We are going to industrialize using Musina Makato SEZ and Fita Homu Industrial Park so that our people can get jobs. So we really want to thank the committee chairperson. We take note of the inputs that you have given. We are going to implement them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC Baldwin Strike Matibe. We shall now call upon the Honorable Chief Whip for the motion of suspension of the House, Rule 173. Honorable Chief Whip Mukhonyana? Or the Deputy Chief Whip is coming in.
No, thanks very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I rise to present a motion for supplementing and suspension of rules. House Rule 173 provides that unless otherwise provided in these rules, no more than one stage of bill may be taken on the same sitting day if objection to a further stage is made by 4 or more members. It has therefore become necessary to invoke the provision of House Rule 5 to suspend the provision of House Rule 173 in order to allow the House to finalize the Limpopo Appropriation Bill 2025 B04 2025 before the end of this financial year. I move accordingly, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip, Just Munama. I shall now call for a seconder. Honorable Nkonyane from the WIPAR.
Thanks very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I, Bongani Abednego Nkonyana, stand to second the move as proposed by the Deputy Chief Whip. I thank you.
Thank you very much, WIPARI. We shall now call upon the Honorable MEC Provincial Treasury to come and do motion for the 3rd reading of the Limpopo. Honorable Mawai.
Honorable Speaker, in this case, Honorable Deputy Speaker, now that the Limpopo Appropriation Bill 2025 B04 2025 has gone through all the necessary stages of the legislative process as prescribed by this Honorable House, I hereby move that the bill be read for the 3rd time in accordance with the provisions of House Rule 170. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, MEC. I shall now call for a seconder. Dr. Silan, Honorable Dr. Silan.
Ke a leboga, Deputy Speaker.
I'm not part of the WIPARI, but I stand here to support the motion as raised by the Honorable MEC Mawai. Nda.
Roribu, abo dokotela, abo Selane. We shall now go to the third reading of the Limpopo Appropriation Bill 2025, B04 2025. We shall now adopt schedule by schedule, schedule of the bill. Those who agree will say yeah, those who disagree will say nay. Schedule 1, definitions? Yes. Schedule 2, appropriation of money? Yes. Schedule 3, amounts listed as specifically and exclusively appropriated. Yes. Schedule 4, conditions for appropriations. Yes. Schedule 5, authorization of expenditure. Schedule 6, spending before commencement of Appropriation Act for 2026-2027 financial year. Schedule 7, short title. We shall now adopt vote by vote. Those who agree will say yeah, those who disagree will say nay. Vote 1, Office of the Premier. Vote 2, Limpopo Legislature. Vote 3, Department of Education. Vote 4, Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. Vote 5, Department of Provincial Treasury. Vote 6, Department of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism. Vote 7, Department of Health. Vote 8, Department of Transport and Community Safety. Vote 9, Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure. Vote 10, Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Vote 11, Department of Coxstar. Vote 12, Department of Social Development. We shall now call upon the Secretary to read short title.
This act is the Limpopo Appropriation Act 2025.
Thank you, Secretary. Now we shall call upon the Honorable the Speaker for the motion of reconstitution of committees and its members. Honorable Dr. Makoma Makurupecha, the Speaker. The motion for reconstitution of the committees and its members, Honorable Speaker.
You know, when you are used to do something and you are given something else, you. Deputy Speaker, thank you so much for the opportunity you have given me. After we've been approached by other political parties, specifically the UAT and the EFF, as the chair of the Rules Committee in consultation with the Chief Whip and all WIPARIs, we've agreed to the request that has been made, that therefore, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I hereby move that this House adopt the reconstitution list of committees and its members as per the request of the Economic Freedom Fighters and United Africans Transformation UAT to accommodate their new members who were sworn in recently. The changes, it's only replacing those that were there and including the new ones. That's the only change on the committees. I therefore move that this August House adopt the reconstituted list of committees and its members as the committees of the Limpopo Provincial Legislature. I move accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Speaker, Honorable Dr. Makoma Makurupete. Isalia Wipar. Oh, oh, Barba, Honorable Nkonyan.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. In future, the Speaker must be, because people were shaking now. We therefore support the move as proposed by the Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nkonyane from the Wipari. Honorable members, we shall now go to the NCOP business. We are going to call the chairperson of the Committee on Provincial Treasury for consideration and adoption of report of the Portfolio Committee. Ntate Honorable Piedi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. My greetings as well to the Premier and the Executive, the Office of the Chief Whips, the Chair of Chairs, honorable members. I stand before this House, Honorable Speaker, or the Deputy Speaker, to present the Portfolio Committee on Provincial Treasury on the Division of Revenue Bill, B15 of 2025 for consideration and adoption. And I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Piedi. I shall now call for a seconder. Honorable Nkonyane.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. As the Wipar, we therefore second the move as proposed by the Honorable Chair of the Committee. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Wipari. We shall now call upon Honorable Kupa Constance Mabuza.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and greetings to your good selves. Greetings to the Honorable Speaker, Dr. Makurupecha. Greetings also to our Premier, Dr. Popira Matuba, our MECs, honorable members, and my special greetings to the chairperson of Portfolio Committee on Treasury, Honorable Piedi. Honorable Speaker, the Division of Revenue Bill B15-2025 mandate is to promote transparency by ensuring that all allocations are reflected in the budgets of the receiving governments. It also facilitates accountability, requiring reporting on the expenditure of conditional grants allocations. Section 214, subsection 1 of the Constitution of South Africa calls for an act of parliament to provide for the following: the equitable division of revenue raised nationally amongst the national, provincial, and local spheres of government. The determination of each province's equitable share of the provincial share of that revenue, and another allocations to provinces, local government, and or municipalities from the national government's share of that revenue, and any conditions on which those allocations may be made. To provide for the equitable division of revenue raised nationally among the national, provincial, and local spheres of government for the 2025-2026 financial year, the determination of each province's equitable share allocations to province, local government, and municipality from national government's equitable share, the responsibility of all three spheres of government pursuant to such division and allocations, and to provide for matters connected therewith.
The committee noted that the overall equitable share allocation for local government in Limpopo province has increased by 423 million from 13.5 billion in 2024 and 2025 financial year to 13.975 billion in 2025-2026 financial year. The committee further noted that the overall allocation to district municipalities included conditional grants allocations that were earmarked for municipality. The allocation to district municipalities was done as follows. Mopani municipality received 3.154 billion. Vembe municipalities received 3.451 billion. Capricorn municipalities received 3.103 billion. Waterberg municipality 1.501 billion, and the Skukune district municipality, the mighty one, 2.764 billion. The recommendation from the committee is that the committee acknowledge the contents of the bill and agree that a final mandate should be conferred to NCOP to vote in favor of the bill. The committee further requested the National Treasury to engage all the relevant economic cluster members of cabinet to sit down with social partners in National Economic Development and Labor Council to find solutions to the troubling question of the persistent flat growth of the national economy. Be aware that the increased equitable share from 13.5 billion in 2024-25 financial year to 13.9 billion in 2025-26 financial year is commendable. However, the increases are directly offset or cancelled out by increases in bulk water and electricity prices and consumer inflation. Continue adding to the allocation for municipal disaster recovery grant, the reconstruction and rehabilitation of at least critical municipal infrastructure damaged by floods prior to finalization of processes towards official declaration of a particular area as a disaster ravaged. Honorable Deputy Speaker, on behalf of the Portfolio Committee on Provincial Treasury, allow me to request the Honorable House to consider and adopt the Division of Revenue Bill B15-2025 as a bill of this House and a.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bella Kupa Mabuza. We shall now call upon Honorable Jacobus Mali. Are you standing in for him? Okay, we're passing on that. Now I shall call upon Honorable Lidwaba Mapula Joanna. Okay, she said she's not ready. We shall now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Piet.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. All protocol observed. Honorable Deputy Speaker, let me take our members back to say the Division of Revenue Bill outlines how the revenue raised by the national government should be allocated to different spheres of government. It also serves to translate the constitutional principle of equitable division of revenue into a practical framework for the year under review, as Honorable Kupa Mabuza has alluded before. Honorable Speaker, Section 7, Subsection 1 of the Money Bills and Related Matters, Act Number 9 of 2009, calls for the introduction of the Division of Revenue Bill at the same time as the Appropriation Bill. In line with the above-mentioned legislative prescripts, the 2025 Division of Revenue Bill, B15 of 2025, was accordingly referred to the Limpopo Provincial Legislature for consideration and conferral of mandates to National Council of Provinces and to report to the House for the conferral of the final mandate to the NCOP. And once again, Honorable Speaker, provincial allocation according to the Division of Revenue Bill B15 of 2025. The committee noted that for the current financial year, which is 2025-26, Limpopo province received an overall allocation of 86.3 billion rands. This represents a difference of 4.9 billion rands, increase from 81.4 billion rands in the 2024-25 to 86.3 billion rands, as I said before. And this 86.3 billion rands consists of 74 billion rands from the provincial equitable shares and the 12 billion rands from the conditional grants. And as a result, the provincial equitable share has increased from 69.6 billion rands in 2024 to 74 billion rands in 2025-26 financial year. In summary, Honorable Speaker, the conditional grants increased from 11.7 billion rands in 2024-25 to 12.3 billion rands in 2025. The transfers to provinces account for 96% of provincial revenue in 2025 financial year. The provincial equitable shares grows at an average annual growth rate of 4.5%, whilst conditional grants has grown up by 3.3%. The increases to provinces were as a result of addition for the 2025 Public Service Wage Agreement, additions for the Presidential Employment Initiatives, as well as the budget facility for the infrastructure allocation. An amount of 1.5 billion rands allocated to the education infrastructure grants funded through the budget facility infrastructure, which is BFI. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the National Tertiary Service Grant was allocated 581.7 million rands, while provincial roads maintenance grant was allocated 2 billion rands, and public transport operational grant received 481.3 million rands. And once again, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the agricultural grants allocation were 242.8 million rands for comprehensive agricultural support grant. And again, 83.5 million rands allocated to Ilima or Lechima project grant, and 14.2 million rands allocated to land care program grant. Once more, Honorable Speaker, the Kenyan government has also furthermore welcomed the basic education grant by giving it 295.9 million rands allocated for early childhood development and 29.5 million rands for life skills education. The 37.8 million rands for learners with a profound intellectual disability, as well as the 52.5 million rands on math, science, and technology. And once more, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the National School Nutrition Program was allocated 1.4 billion rands. The health grants allocation were 2.5 billion rands for district health program. 622.3 million rands allocated health facility revitalization grant, and 378.8 million rands allocated to human resource and training grant, and 53.7 million rands allocated to the National Health Insurance grant. Honorable Speaker, it tells you that the government of the ANC is not just promising, it also delivers through giving resources to the provinces. Honorable Speaker, the human settlement grants allocations were 925.1 million rands, and the human settlement development grant at 181.1 million rands, and allocated to informal settlements upgrading partnerships. Honorable Speaker, the public works and infrastructure grants was allocated 75.3 million rands for expanded public works program and integrated grant. To province and art and culture grant was allocated 161.4 million rands. For community library services grant, it is at 68.8 million rands, and for and it's also for mass participation in sports. Honourable Speaker, the committee has also made this recommendation that in respect of the free basic services package, there must be a review of basis of 610 Rand per month for South African household with an income of less than 2 old age pensioners, pensioners per month. And again, Honorable Speaker, to engage Statistics South Africa to consistently make available updated data required for determination of local government allocations. Also, the recommendation is on review of the official position that the district development model, a catalytic project, be funded by municipalities or municipal-owned revenue, which is non-existent anyway in the present moment. And therefore, the recommendation in further say, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Portfolio Committee on Provincial Treasury recommends to the House to confer a final mandate to the NCOP delegates to vote in favor of the bill to pass into a law. And once again, Honorable Speaker, allow me on behalf of the Portfolio Committee on Provincial Treasury to request the House to consider and adopt the Division of Revenue Bill B15 of 2025 into law. Kgotso e be le leng, ke a leboha.
Re a leboha, Honorable Piedi. We shall now call upon, I guess this time it will be a Deputy Chief Whip for the motion of conferral of final voting mandate.
Thanks very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I rise for the motion for conferral of the final mandate to the NCOP permanent delegates. Honorable Speaker, now that the Portfolio Committee on Provincial Treasury has tabled the report on the Division of Revenue Bill B15 2025 and the House adopted the reports with its recommendation, I therefore move that this House give the authority to the NCOP permanent delegates to vote in favor of the bill B15 2025 and pass it into law in terms of Rule 234 in brackets 4. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip. I shall now call upon the seconder. Honorable Mohale.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I second the motion as presented by the Deputy Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mohale. I shall now call again the Deputy Chief Whip for the motion for the appointment of special delegates.
Thanks very much, Honorable Speaker. Motion for the designation of special delegates to attend NCOP hybrid plenary scheduled for the 16th, 17th, 22nd, 24th, and 30th July. Honorable Speaker, the NCOP has scheduled plenaries to deal with policy debates for budget votes. Provinces are required to designate special delegates to attend these hybrid plenaries. In terms of Rule 2261, I therefore propose this House designate the following members as special delegates to attend the NCOP plenaries virtually. 1, policy debate on Budget 19 for social development and policy debate on budget vote 13 for public works and infrastructure on the 16th July 2025 at 14 hours. Honorable S.M. Mate, Honorable K.G. Nechifefe. 2, policy debate on budget vote 28 for police. Policy debate on budget 24 for Independent Police Investigative Directorate. Policy debate on budget vote 21 for Civilian Secretariat for the Police Service. Policy debate on budget vote 31 for Employment and Labor on the 17th of July at 14 hours. Honorable K. Levia, Honorable Bonkani Abednego Nkonyama, Honorable MC Mogale. 3, policy debate on budget vote, 18 for health, policy debate on budget vote, 38 for tourism. On the 22nd July 2025 at 14 hour, Honorable Dr. CWD Malebani and Honorable M.A. Mukaba. 4, policy debate on budget vote 39 for trade, industry and competition, policy debate on budget vote 36 for small business development. On the 24th July 2025 at 14 hour, Honorable M.A. Mukaba, Honorable V.W. Maringa, Honorable G. Munisi. 5, plenary to consider the appropriation bill B16 2025 provisional on the 30th of July 2025 at 9 o'clock. Honorable M.S. Piedi, Honorable G.G. Machumani, Honorable C.B.D. Silani. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip. I shall now call on for
There
a
is no
seconder. Honorable Sibopela.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise to second the motion as presented by the Deputy Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sibopela. I shall now call upon the Deputy Chair of Chairs for announcement.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. The Speaker of the Limpopo Provincial Legislature, Dr. Makoma, a Premier of our province, the Leader of Government Business, esteemed members of the Executive Council, Chief Whip, and the Deputy Chief Whip, and the forever gamboling and exuberance whippery. Chair of Chairs, and honorable members and members in the gallery. The next sitting of the legislature is scheduled for the 22nd of July 2025 in this Leboa Homo Legislative Chamber. 2, that the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker will be visiting Yingisani Special School that was adopted by the Speakership last year on the occasion of Mandela Day. The visit will take place on the 18th of July 2025 in Letaba, Mopani District Municipality at 11 a.m. Members who would like to join the speakership on this day must indicate their availability, especially those members who reside in Mopani District. And lastly, you are all invited for lunch at committee boardroom. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ngoveni, the Deputy Chair of Chairs. The House is adjourned to Tuesday, the 22nd July 2025 at 10 a.m.